What is up, guys? Welcome back to Things with Codemanblue here on YouTube. Hope you're all having a great Friday. I hope you've had a great week. You know there wasn't a video Monday, and that's because today and Monday we're going to be doing a couple of videos, and you're probably going to see me wearing the same thing because Monday's video, I'm going to try to do a mock draft since next week is the NFL draft. We'll see how that goes. May not be great. But today is, as usual, the last couple of months, because this weekend is Wrestlemania. It's also Easter, so happy Easter to everybody that celebrates Easter. Hope you have a great day. My hair is doing its own thing today. But it is time for Codemanblue's predictions for Wrestlemania. So night one, we're going to start with, and this is just my opinion, this is how I think they should do it, get it started with a banger. Gunther versus Jey Uso. What I would do doesn't really matter. What I think is going to happen, I think Jey Uso is going to win the World Heavyweight title. I personally don't... I'm not a big fan. Like, I get the Yeet has gotten over and all that good stuff, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Uso style. There's no difference between them and most other wrestlers, and it's just kind of boring to me. It is what it is, but I think Jey will be a good champion for a little bit, and then from there, I think we're going to get Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and I think Jade needs to win that match if she is better than where she was last year. Then we're going to have the women's... we're going to have the United States Championship between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. And I think, unfortunately for LA Knight, he's going to be putting over Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. I think you built Jacob up to be this beast of a character. You have to start him somewhere, and it just needs to happen. Then I think we're going to get the Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Sounds like an order from Starbucks. And I do think El Grande Americano is going to win. Maybe with some help from Dirty Dom. Then I think you're going to go into the World Tag Team Championship. The War Raiders versus the New Day, though I think that may even start earlier. That might be on the pre-show kind of thing if they do that like they used to. And I think you are going to get the New Day beating the War Raiders. Honestly, I've gotten kind of tired of what they've done. I just think you make changes and you try to put people as heels and stuff like that, but then you constantly have them lose and lose and lose, and they just don't build up anything. So hopefully they can fix that, and who knows where it'll go. Then I think you're going to have the women's championship match between Tiffy Time and Charlotte Flair. And if it was me booking, I would have Tiffy win. I think, unfortunately, this is going to be a downer. And I think we are going to get Charlotte Flair beating Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. But let me know what you guys think on that one. That's just what I see, and it may not be what happens. Who knows? And then the main event, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the OTC, versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman in his corner. I could see any of them winning. They're all top guys. They all deserve it. Would I like to see CM Punk win because he's main eventing his first WrestleMania? Absolutely. Do I kind of sense that we could get a Paul Heyman turn on CM Punk and Roman and align with Seth? Again, absolutely. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Seth is going to win. And that would then set up Seth to either go for the world title or possibly go for Cody's title. And that is night one. I'm sure we're going to get some surprises in there. And this is before SmackDown on Friday. So it may change. There may be more matches added. Who knows? That's just what I've got. For night 2, where I think they're going to start, and this is where I would start, is you're going to start with a very good match. We're going to start AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And though you may not like Logan Paul for his antics or as a person, he does do crazy stuff in the ring, and I'm a fan of his in-ring work. And I think that would be a great match to open the show, get some energy in there, do something crazy, get some flippy dippies going on. Who knows? But I think AJ Styles should win, unless they're going to build Logan Paul up, which they might because he's a full-time wrestler now. So who knows? But I think it should be AJ Styles. Then I would go the Women's Tag Team Championship next with Liv, Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra. I think Liv and Raquel are going to retain, and it's going to set up a future match between Bayley and Lyra for the Intercontinental title. And I think, sadly, these women's mid-card titles have not been as highly regarded as they should be. And I think that's where, honestly, my opinion during the Triple H regime is that sometimes championships don't feel as important because you put the champion in tag team matches or in war games every year. Granted, this year he wasn't, but it just feels less important because you have them not being defended, and you don't have them changing hands often, which is great in some aspects. Like for Gunther, when he was the Intercontinental Champion, it built him up because he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in a while. But I think it also makes it boring, and it makes you not care for some of these titles because it's always with the same person. But that's my opinion, and I think hopefully after WrestleMania we start to see some changes in that regard, and I apologize for the camera going crazy. I am holding it, and it's not in like a stand or anything, so hopefully it's not too bad when you guys are watching this tomorrow. Then I would go with the Women's World Championship, but that's because I'm not really excited about it. I think, to me, I saw no reason for Io to be champion going in. I feel like it should have still been Rhea. And if you wanted to make it a triple threat, do it the traditional way. Have Rhea or Bianca screw Io out of the match that she had that night. Most likely Bianca, since she seems headed for a heel turn. And just steer into it. Let her turn heel, and then you have a reason. But that was not what they did. They did not steer into it. They let it be this weird thing that went... To me, it was not a good booking. But that's just me. I don't know who's going to win. I think maybe you have Io retain. I liked Rhea as champ, but I think they want to go in different directions after it being the Liv and Rhea show for about a year. So that's fair. So I'm going to go with Io retains. Then you're going to do the Sin City street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. That, I think, is going to be a great match. It's going to be a pick-me-up after this women's match, or after the two women's matches, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to have a lot of fun with that one. I believe they are going to have Drew McIntyre win, just because it feels like he's taken a lot of losses and needs a win. Then you're going to have the Intercontinental Championship 4-way, and I love Braun Breaker, but Dirty Dom Mysterio is going to go into that Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero era. Intercontinental Champion. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. You probably don't agree, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be awesome. And let me know. And then the main event, the show ender. Who is going to win? Is it going to be Cody Rhodes or is it going to be heel John Cena? And there is a part of me that wants heel John Cena to win. A lot. But do we want another part-time champion? Is that something that we can do again? And based off of what I had said earlier with the champions not being booked strongly because they have these titles but they don't fight for them and things like that, is that what I want? Yes, I want heel John Cena to win. I think it would be fantastic. I think you could go so many directions with that, and then, now that he's champion, maybe we'll get a new theme song, and who knows. But I could see Cody winning this match. Now, it's not because I don't want heel John Cena to win, but it's because I think you have to have the titles there. I think you have to use them as what they were designed for, is to be that showpiece of the company. And, you've built all these titles. Use them correctly. I don't know why the guy that had his biggest heel phase of being the champion, and maybe I missed it, because that was kind of the era that I was with Triple H, World Heavyweight Champion, Evolution era. But it always felt like he was in matches defending his title. And it's just not happening with this current group of champions. And if they do, it's not every pay-per-view. It's like every other or every 2 pay-per-views that we're getting a title defense for each title. Or they do it on Saturday night's main event when they don't change any titles. And it's just kind of boring. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we get a few title changes this WrestleMania season. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you think about the new name of the channel, Things with Codemanblue. And I hope you guys have a great Friday. Enjoy WrestleMania both nights. And have a great Easter. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you next time.